Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. What started as a simple holiday game turned into one of the most joy-filled, laugh-out-loud moments of the season on Live with Kelly&Mark. With Christmas sweaters flashing under studio lights, a kazoo doing its very best, and audience members giving it their all, the show delivered something viewers didn't even know they needed: pure, unscripted holiday happiness. Hosted by the endlessly charming Kelly Ripa and her quick-witted co-host Mark Consuelos, the segment unfolded as part of the show's beloved holiday sweater party, a festive tradition that blends friendly competition, audience participation, and just enough chaos to feel wonderfully real. And at the center of it all, a DJ, a jar of Christmas songs, a kazoo, and 30 seconds of pressure. A holiday party that felt like home. From the very first "Hi guys" to the final round of applause, the energy in the studio felt less like a television taping and more like a family gathering that just happened to have cameras. The audience wasn't just watching, they were part of the action. Kelly greeted everyone with her signature warmth, joking through the setup while Mark tried, and failed, to look prepared for what was coming next. Holiday sweaters of every imaginable pattern filled the room, each one louder than the last, creating a visual reminder that this wasn't about perfection, it was about fun. The premise was simple but brilliant. Kelly would randomly pull a holiday song title from a jar. Mark, armed only with a kazoo and confidence he probably shouldn't have had, would play the tune. Contestants, 2 audience members and Mark himself, would then have just 30 seconds to correctly identify the song. No lyrics, no humming, just kazoo. What could possibly go wrong? Meet the contestants. Holiday courage required. Stepping up from the audience were 2 brave volunteers who instantly won the crowd over. Sammy Walker, visiting from Virginia Beach, Virginia, brought enthusiasm and nerves in equal measure. You could practically see the adrenaline kicking in as she clutched her buzzer, ready to prove she knew her Christmas classics. Then there was Luke Salmon from Lyndhurst, New York, who had a calm, confident energy until the kazoo started playing. That's when reality set in for everyone. Because recognizing a Christmas song on the radio is one thing, recognizing it when it sounds like a confused mosquito trapped in wrapping paper, that's another challenge entirely. The kazoo heard round the studio. The clock started, 30 seconds on the board, Mark raised the kazoo, and suddenly Christmas had never sounded less like Christmas. The first tune came out as a shaky, buzzing melody that left everyone squinting, tilting their heads, and trying desperately to connect the dots. Sammy jumped in first with "Walking Around the Christmas Tree." Technically, close enough. The official answer was "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," but Kelly, in full holiday spirit mode, waved it through. "We'll count that," she laughed, acknowledging that sometimes during the holidays, we're all just walking around the tree anyway. And just like that, the game was on. When confidence meets chaos. As the rounds continued, something magical happened. The contestants didn't just try to win, they leaned into the absurdity of the moment. Silent Night somehow came through the kazoo with surprising clarity, earning impressed applause from the audience and a raised eyebrow from Kelly. Even Mark looked momentarily shocked that his kazoo had managed something recognizable. Then came "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas," guessed correctly by Luke in a moment that left everyone stunned. "I'm shocked you got that," Kelly admitted, laughing as Mark stared at the kazoo like it had betrayed him. The crowd roared. Because that's the beauty of live television when it's done right, those moments when no one knows what's coming next, including the hosts. The guess that wasn't, and the one that was. One of the most memorable moments came when Luke confidently buzzed in with "Meliki Muckeye." Was it correct? Absolutely not. Was it iconic? Instantly. The studio erupted in laughter, and Kelly encouraged Mark to keep playing, giving Luke credit for at least committing fully to whatever that answer was supposed to be. Moments later, the song finally revealed itself as "It's the Most Wonderful Time of Year," though Mark himself seemed surprised that's what he'd been playing. "I mean, never before has that song sounded like that," Kelly joked, and she wasn't wrong. Pressure builds, laughter follows. As the competition heated up, so did the pressure. Sammy made a strong comeback with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, earning cheers from the crowd and a grin from Kelly. The scoreboard tightened, and suddenly this silly kazoo game felt intense. Then came Oh Christmas Tree, identified as Little Christmas Tree, which, again, close enough. Holiday rules applied. The audience loved every second of it. By the time Jingle Bells rang out, finally sounding unmistakably like itself, everyone was leaning forward in their seats, buzzers at the ready, laughter bubbling up before the answers even landed. The final round, Holiday Panic, sets in. For the last song, the tension was real. The kazoo buzzed, the melody wobbled, faces scrunched. Someone yelled out, "Santa Claus is coming to town!" But the stress had already scrambled everyone's brains. Mark himself looked overwhelmed, laughing and admitting defeat before finally blurting out the correct answer, Frosty the Snowman. Well, Rocky the Snowman, he joked, poking fun at himself as the audience applauded wildly. It was messy, it was loud, it was perfect. And who's the winner? When the final scores were tallied, Luke emerged victorious. His prize? A $500 air fryer and the highly coveted Holiday Sweater Party trophy, a symbol of Christmas kazoo greatness, if there ever was one. Kelly congratulated him warmly, while Mark praised both contestants for surviving what can only be described as a musical obstacle course. And Sammy didn't leave empty-handed either. In true holiday generosity fashion, Kelly announced she'd be receiving a Spotify account packed with Christmas music, ensuring that next year no kazoo would stand a chance. Why this moment worked so well? What made this segment resonate wasn't the prizes or even the game itself, it was the feeling. This wasn't polished or overly rehearsed, it was loose, joyful, and deeply human. Kelly and Mark weren't positioned above the audience, they were right there with them, laughing at the same mistakes, feeling the same pressure, and celebrating the same small wins. That relatability is exactly why Live with Kelly and Mark continues to connect with viewers. In a world full of scripted perfection, moments like this remind us that it's okay to laugh when things sound ridiculous, to guess wrong, and to enjoy the chaos, especially during the holidays. And honestly, that might just be the most wonderful sound of the year.